I said, you know what, this is why you can't tell me nothing. Girl, you should have kept all your little things you did while he was gone to yourself. You should have told him nothing. I know you trying to turn over a good leaf, Nova. You trying to do the right thing, girl. You trying to have a good, honest relationship. But men can't handle that. They cannot handle the truth. Because Nova didn't do nothing wrong, Dominic. And while you was out there frolicking in the sedan, go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Y'all already know, here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. Tonight is Tuesday night, so of course we are talking Owns Queen Sugar. This is season 7, episode 10, They Existed was the title. Before we get into anything, y'all, please don't forget to click that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video. Comment below, let me know what you thought of tonight's episode. Also comment, let me know you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share. And thank y'all for all of y'all support. I really appreciate it. Okay, also don't forget we are sharing holiday gift giving ideas over here at the Brandy Yvonne channel during the holiday season. So if you have any cool, creative holiday gift ideas, any ideas for shoppers on a budget like me, or any cool discounts going on at some of our favorite stores, please drop it in the comments below and I can share it on the next video that I do upload. All right, now let's get to this episode, y'all, because this episode had me happy and pissed all at the same damn time. And that's what Queen Sugar do every week, and that's why we love the show, right? All right, so the episode opens up with Nova on the phone with Dominic, talking about she miss him. He been gone too long. He's like, oh, I know, I'm sorry. You know, weeks didn't turn into months. He asked her, has it changed the way he's felt, she feels with the, distance being so long? And so she said no. He begins to say that it's, things have changed. His feelings have changed. So I'm like, oh Lord, what he about to say? Y'all, I was worried. Then we get a knock on the door. Y'all, the first time I watched the episode, that knock scared the mess out of me. I thought somebody was knocking at my house. So anyway, it just was so loud. So anyway, turns out it's Dominic at the door. He said it made his, feeling stronger. So then, they end up having sex, catching up, doing what lovers do. And so Dominic, he wants to hear all about Nova, time while he was gone. She said, she'll catch him up later. He's happy to be back. And he's like, next time I go, I want you to come with me. She like, next time, you just got back. Dang, I feel the same way, Dominic. And we're going to get to you in a minute. So anyway, then, Dominic trying to stay in bed and cut up. But, they got to get down to Prosper's wedding. So Noah's like, you going to make us late. So anyway, we get down to Prosper's house. He practicing his vows in the mirror, struggling, sweating. He nervous. Billie brings in a gift from Charlie. It's from Charlie West, y'all. Did y'all catch that? I caught it the second time around. So her and Davis are officially back together. They telling us without showing Charlie, which hurts my heart, but it's fine. So I think she got him a watch or something, y'all. Anyway, Billie said she didn't have a gift for him that expensive, but she might have a surprise for him later. Then we get down to Ralph Angel. I don't know why I was about to call him Rachel. Ralph Angel. And Darla has a beautiful dress on. She asked Ralph Angel to zip it up. Ralph Angel still is pressed about everything the black loan officer told them and everything going on with the Landry land. And Darla's like, don't worry about that right now. Let's focus on the wedding. She's like, are you ready for a prosperous, toast? And he's like, yeah, but he doesn't feel good with public speaking all the time. And she's like, you will do fine. So, so Darla was really encouraging Ralph Angel about his schooling and not being confident about public speaking and everything. She's like, you commanded a bunch of honorary farmers. Like, you've done a lot, and which he has. So anyway, then we get down to the wedding, y'all. And y'all know Ralph Angel's up there because he the best man. And everybody gets in their places, right? And we see the bride, Miss Sandy, come down the aisle. She did look beautiful. Y'all, I didn't get them a wedding gift because, they didn't send out a registry. I don't know what kind of registry Prosper Sandy would do. Maybe they do the typical Zola. We could send them on a trip. And y'all see they came home early, so a trip ain't going to cut it out. I don't know. What gifts y'all getting for Prosper and Sandy? I don't know. Well, he used some appliances in that old house, right? I don't know. Anyway, maybe they move into Sandy's house instead of Prosper's house. sell Prosper house, split it with Billie or something. I don't know. Anyway, so, you know, they said their vows and everything, and Micah was taking pictures, of course, you know. And so it came time to jump the broom. And so I was nervous, y'all, when they was about to jump the broom, because I was like, ooh, I know I couldn't hop over no broom and no hills, so how's it going to happen? So then they were like, for those of y'all who's worried about us jumping the broom, we got to show you how it's done. So they did a step over the broom, y'all, okay? I was like, I know that's right. So anyway, everyone's having a good time at the wedding, and Hollywood told them to show us how it's done. So they had a little slow dance, and Ralph Angel did his toast. It was really beautiful. He's like, you know, you really have been like a father figure to me and my sisters, and you know, you're really close to my dad, and you have represented for us what our dad has been like. You know, you've been a true gem. We could not have made it without you. And so they really showed Prosper some love. They gave Prosper all his flowers this episode, y'all, and I loved it. And they welcomed Sandy into the family wholeheartedly. So then the scene I love black wedding scenes on TV shows and movies, especially when we see them dancing at the reception. That is the best. Like, it's nothing like a black wedding, a nice black wedding. Now, this wedding was giving barnyard chic, but I wasn't mad at it. Like, it was cute, quaint, and little, you know, barnyard chic. They got it done. I wasn't mad at it. So I just loved everyone dancing and smiling. We seen True and Micah dancing. So anyway, by the way, they brought that baby to the wedding. I said, I guess they couldn't get a sitter. It's fine. Where was the neighbor lady that be babysitting? But maybe she was at the wedding too. Who knows? So then Miss Bertina goes up to, well, no, let me back up. First, we see Nova and Billie in the bathroom, and Billie was saying that, oh, you know, Sandy's friends are jealous of her in a good way. And then Nova was like, yeah, I don't blame them. Like, to find love when you have fully matured and you can welcome it in your heart, like, that's amazing. And so Nova asked Billie how to going to Chicago, and she said it's good. You know, her events are basically getting on the right track, and her events we're going to see get back together, basically. And so Billie brings up, you know, Nova's first loves and all that, and Nova's like, I got to go have a drink. So then I can think of that one song from the 90s they played, and I knew that scene was going to be something special just by the music. Ava DuVernay has a way of playing certain background music in the show that kind of leads you to know something's about to happen, right? So Nova goes to dance with Ralph Angel, and they kind of doing an old school dance battle, and Ralph Angel's like, oh, I'm glad to see you still got it, because you ain't no spring chicken, sis. And she's like, what you talking about? And Ralph Angel acted like he wasn't really trying to, you know, bust a move like that. He's like, don't let me come out my suit. So I'm like, come out the suit, Ralph Angel. So anyway, she's like, let me, you know, tell you something real quick. So she has something to give him. So she's like, you know, Darla came to me and she let me know that she's comfortable with me moving forward with the movie now. Did she talk to you about it? He's like, yeah, she let me know. She was like, okay, cool. You know, I just wanted to check in and see how everything was. And so she presented him with a check for the advance from the movie. She's like, you can use this to buy back the farm. And so I'm like, we told y'all, Darla, we told you. Okay? Get paid for what you went through. The story's already out there in the book. Okay, y'all need the money for the farm. So that's what's happening. So, you know, Ralph Angel was very happy about that. And so then Miss Bertina came up there. She's like, Ralph Angel, you smell that? And so they went, and there was a fire by the Landry farm. And so all the men ran out, you know, to go put it out and everything. So they came back and they're like, okay, why would they burn up their own land? Because it was Landry farm. So Darla was saying, you know, they're starting to do construction, getting rid of parts and all that. And so Micah's like, yeah, it's looking like some kind of sabotage situation. And so Billie's gonna get Vince down on the line, because he's dealt with a lot of cases like that where they do the sabotage, bait and switch, they're trying to throw you off kind of situation. So y'all know how the Landry's do doing their tricks, right? So then everybody's trying to figure it out. You know, Ralph Angel's like, this is more than about the land. They trying to get it together. Mo said that Nova let us know that Mo said that they did that to a co-op up north, trying to scare the co-op off. So they all trying to figure out the farm stuff and make a move. And Vice said, like, hold up. This is still Miss Sandy's wedding day. You know, we're not gonna, you know, this is important, but we could put this aside. We're not gonna let the Landry's foolishness ruin this good day. My mouth is dry, y'all. And Vi's basically like, look, y'all, try to clean yourself up as best you can, but, you know, Prosper, you got this beautiful bride here. She deserves to enjoy her special day. We can figure all that other stuff out later. We're not going to let them ruin our day. I'm like, thank you, Aunt Vi, somebody with some sense. Every time the Landry do something, y'all ruin y'all whole special time and event, ruin the whole dang episode for us. So anyway, and Vi was also like, I got the most beautiful cake in the world I done made. Like, we gonna cut this cake today. I ain't mad at you, Aunt Vi. So then Micah got on the line because he the DJ also / photographer. So he said, you know, we getting ready to cut this cake. And my Aunt Vi said, this is the best cake in the world. He imitated her. That was kind of funny to me. And that cake was looking great. Like, Aunt Vi, I know Aunt Vi did wedding cakes like that. Y'all better hire Aunt Vi to make a wedding cake because she got down on that. And so, you know, they cut the cake, put the cake in each other's face, all that good stuff, y'all. So then, later on, I believe we did see KiKi and Micah. It looks like they're back at Micah's house, and they're looking at all the pictures they took from the wedding. And so Micah was like, yeah, this is really capturing St. Joe's. And KiKi was like, yep. And then Micah was like, you know, I want to ask you a question. You know, why did you break up with me? I never quite understood. KiKi said they basically moving in different directions, experiencing new things in life, meeting new people, new ideas. So they just kind of grew apart. She also, and I felt like they grew apart as well. So she also felt that basically it was hard being Micah's West girlfriend. So she said, here, St. Joe wasn't that big of a deal because they knew KiKi first, but like I guess in bigger cities like New Orleans and all that where they go to school, it was harder because she felt like everybody was looking at her like, why would he be with her? And she wanted to grow and make her own name for herself, and she didn't want to just be Michael West's girlfriend. And Michael's like, dang, that's crazy because I felt like when I met you, you were the most beautiful girl in the world. Like I was out of your league. And so I'm glad Micah, you know, told her that. Micah was giving her them eyes too. I said, oh, Micah trying to get back to it. Okay. You know, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I don't necessarily need Micah and KiKi to get back together. Like, that'd be cute. I love Micah and KiKi together. I really do. But if they didn't get back together, I'd be okay because they're young, y'all. Like, who cares? So, y'all give it some time and find y'all way back to each other. Anyway, but if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. We ain't hating on love over here either. So they just kind of reminisced and talked about their relationship in that way. So, and KiKi did appreciate him saying what he said as well. So then we also see Ralph Angel and Darla trying to figure out this whole co-op thing. So they're talking with Vince and Billie, and you know, they're noticing different patterns in the loan paperwork. And so Vince is saying like, yeah, you know, we got to figure this out, but we can definitely build a case against this. And so Ralph Angel wants to go talk to Sam Landry face to face, and basically Vince advises him not to do so. He said, you know, you don't want to look like you're trying to intimidate him or do anything like that. You guys already have history and blah, blah, between you. Like, it wouldn't be a good idea. And so then Darla says she would go do it. I said, come on, Darla. Darla didn't put on her Charlie Borderline hat, but she do it in a different way than Charlie. So I don't want to take away from nothing Darla is doing. Like, I feel like Darla is taking Charlie's energy and putting it into herself and making it her own. Okay, so she just bossed all the way up, y'all. So then we do see Darla go speak to Mr. Landry, and she was like, yeah, you know about the fire that happened, you know, on your land. And he was like, oh yeah, you know, climate change, the weather, the lightning, you know, what's it to you? She was like, oh, well, you know, when we have fires near farmers that are important to us, we have to take proper protocols. And so he was like, oh yeah, your little farmers club. And so then he was like, yeah, what does it matter? And so he was like, you know, who cares? We're going to be building a strip mall over there soon, and then y'all could just, you know, battle it out with them when it's all done. And so she was like, you know, I almost feel sorry for you. All those secrets you're holding, they're gonna eat you up inside. So then he get up like, no, if you buck. He's like, what you doing talking to me like you all familiar with me? And so then she was like, no, I'm talking to you straight. And so she was like, when everything falls crashing in front of you, and which it is, and you know it is, you're going to, you know, feel sorry for yourself. Like, it's all gonna come back to eat you alive, basically. She let him know. And like, you not about to get away with this. So then later on, we did see Darla. I'm going to just skip to Darla stuff, then we'll go back to Billie and Vince. So Darla and Ralph Angel went down to meet with, was it Mr. Miller at the USDA, right? And so before they went, they called Billie and Vince, and they were like, hey, we think it's a different pattern in the paperwork, because Darla was like, he did mention something about lightning. And so he was like, yeah, I'm thinking that it's the environmental, what do they call that when they needed an extension for environmental hazard loan kind of situation? That's where they're getting approved and the black farmers are not. So Billie was looking at the paperwork. She's like, yeah, all the white farmers are approved. And so Ms. Bertina filed some of that same paperwork, remember, and she did not get approved, right? So then they went up in there. So they put the check down like, okay, we got to pay off our loan. We ready. We good. And so then he was like, no, we not taking that money. We don't know where it came from. We not taking no unlawful money up in here. And so then Ralph Angel was like, well, you seem to be taking unlawful money from the Landry, so I don't see what's the problem. So Mr. Miller said, the Landrys are good, upstanding people. Okay, they deserve a fair shot just like you. We're not going to support some lazy thug criminal. So Ralph Angel was holding around, Darla was holding Ralph Angel like, don't trip. Ralph Angel's like, oh, he ain't said nothing to offend me. It's all good over here. And so Ralph Angel, Darla basically like, oh, there must be something, you could do to take this form of payment. Because Miller man was like, oh, this ain't no pawn shop. I was like, oh, he got his nerve. So anyway, so then he was like, you know what, there's another way, to skin and grin this thing. That's how it's done. It's just business. He's like, I'm not promising you anything, but I'm sure there's something we can do. So basically, he's incriminated himself. So then they got back in the truck, and of course, they had it on tape. And I knew they were recording when they were talking. And so they basically got him to admit that he takes bribes, right? That's basically what it meant. And so I said, them border loans, they gonna set you up with a tape recorder. If they don't do nothing else, they always got a scheme. They always got a plan. Y'all watch out for the border loans, okay? So then, let's talk about Billie and Vince, right? So Billie and Vince were kind of reminiscing when they were looking at the paperwork, and Vince is kind of, playing around with Billie. She's like, see, this is what you got you in trouble. If you bother me for something not about the paperwork, then don't bother me. Like, that's how I used to do when we used to be studying for the LSAT. And so he asked Billie, does she ever think about going back to law school? She's like, all the time. And she was like talking about when they did study for the LSAT and how that night changed their life forever, because I guess she got pregnant with her son. And he's like, yeah, we had an intelligent son. And next thing we know, Billie and Vince get to getting it popping in the kitchen. And I'm like, well, where Mr. Prosper at? Because this is his house. But I was like, maybe he on his honeymoon with Miss Sandy, hopefully, right? So anyway, then they get it popping in the kitchen, right? So then we see them on the sofa later on, and Vince is like, man, you never looked at me like this before. I always try to tell myself she do love me. Maybe I'm tripping. She's like, yeah, I didn't know how to love myself. Thank you for loving me more than I love myself. And I did love you this whole time. And I just needed, basically, Billie is kind of have found herself. Going to St. Joe has been really good for her. She has worked through the issues she had with Jimmy Dale. Basically, Billie's issues with Jimmy Dale, I think, is what was holding her back from her husband this whole time, and second guessing herself and not sure, not knowing how to commit. And she's like, I know I didn't do some things that you really wanted to do. So she sat up and she looked at him. She's like, Vince, I adore you. I love you. We had this wonderful life together. And so she basically asked Vince to marry him. Now, normally, I don't like it when a woman asks a man to marry them. But in this circumstance, you know what? I wasn't mad at it, because Vince has been waiting for Billie to come around this whole time. So I wasn't mad at it in this instance. And I think Vince is the type of man, he would go back and propose to her later on, right? So then, next thing we know, Prosper and Miss Sandy come to the door. I said, where did they come from? Why are y'all not still on the honeymoon? They all embarrassed. They're like, oh my God, Daddy, what you doing here? So they didn't want to stay in the honeymoon suite. They prefer to be at home. Y'all know how old people do. Wasting people time. Y'all need to be on the trip somewhere and quit playing. Anyway, so they were like, have fun, kids. Vince and Billie was real embarrassed. Okay, Vince was looking good. So anyway, Miss Sandy and Prosper went into the room. she was like, I gotta, she gotta go freshen up, put her robe on. She was like, we only been married 5 minutes. I gotta leave something to the imagination. I said, okay, Miss Sandy, go put on your old lady lingerie, come through. So she, Prosper, he did what he do. He put on his record. You know how he act when he about to get some cut, y'all. So he threw his shirt. He was ready. So he was like, you sure you okay with cutting the honeymoon short? And she was like, yes, of course. Like, I don't need to be frolicking in the beach. I'm not going to be here with my husband. So, they finna get it popping. But I'm like, so is Vince and Billie finna be in the other room get it popping? They doing too much. But they all adults in the house. So, anywho, y'all. So then Darla and Ralph Angel let whoever they needed to know about the tape, and the tape got sent to some councilwoman, then like the head like USDA people. So Landry's about to be taken down. So Ralph Angel's like, man, I don't know about the public speaking thing. I don't know if I could do this. And so Darla's like, you got this. Like, you could calculate all the math for the farm. You could speak to the farmers. Like, don't second guess yourself. I know you say you weren't good in school, but you can do this. And so then we saw True standing up. And so I guess she started walking before she started crawling. Ralph Angel was like, I told you she would do that. So they captured it on the phone. And Darla said, see, if I said you did that as well when you were a baby. So just encouraging Ralph Angel. So we gonna see next episode. He's the one giving the big speeches. All right. So then let's get to Dominic and Nova, because this is what pissed me off, y'all. So Nova and Dominic were sitting on the sofa talking, and Nova's basically writing something about her loves of her life. And so she's kind of segueing, talk about everything she did when Dominic was gone. Because y'all know we saw her with all her ex-flames, y'all, doing what she was doing. But Nova didn't cross any lines. Okay. She might have little technicalities, but she didn't cross no lines. So anyway, so she's explaining to him about what she's writing. She's like, I'm sure with you when I'm ready. But, you are definitely one of the ones that loves my life as well. And, she's just kind of explaining her process a little bit. She just gave him a little bit. So then Charlie called. She's like, I got to take this because Charlie been worried about Ralph Angel with the fire in the farm, and I got to catch her up. So then, of course, Dominic's sitting there writing. Of course, he get tempted. He opened the laptop. He read it. He get mad. So then Nova came back, and he questioned him and her up, like, what is this? I was gone in the tent to Sudan, and you over here frolicking with your exes. Like, what's good? So she was like, that's my private property. Like, I told you not to read it. Like, what are you doing? And so he's like, you need to explain yourself. So she was like, well, did you read it to the end? How I said that I didn't know that was a true love, that I was holding on to so much brokenness that I didn't know. And she basically explained that she had to go through a process, let go of, her past issues, always going for the wrong type of people who weren't available, giving into temptations, letting go of past hurts, and to really clear herself up, to really give all herself to Dominic. So now I better understand Nova. I'm forgiving Nova for all her wrongs. Everybody's good with the book and the movie now. They finna collect their coins. They good. I understand Nova better now. Everybody got a checker pass. Everybody don't love as easy. Okay. So Dominic getting all up in his feelings. He's like, oh, it's simple for me. When I look at you, it's simple. I love you, and I do this, and I thought we were in this together, but I'm on an island by myself. And so she's trying to explain to him, like, no, that's not what it is. Like, I had to work through some things to get to it. And she's like, you got to believe me. So he just looking stressed out, y'all. And I said, you know what? This is why you can't tell me nothing. Girl, you should have kept all your little things you did while he was going to yourself. You should have told him nothing. I know you trying to turn over a good leaf, Nova. You trying to do the right thing, girl. You trying to have a good, honest relationship. But men can't handle that. They cannot handle the truth. Because Nova didn't do nothing wrong, Dominic. And while you was out there frolicking in the sedan, gone for all these months, and what you expected her to do? Sit by the phone. You wasn't even answering the FaceTime. You better go on, Dominic. First of all, you shouldn't have been reading the computer anyway. First of all. Anywho, y'all. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all think Nova and Dominic gonna make it through? I don't know. Anyway, very end of the... So, let's get to Envi and Hollywood and wrap this thing on up. So, Envi, she was stressed. She like, I gotta go find Betty because this ain't right. I know her. She ain't dealing with this. So finally we get to this because they invited and say this all season that she know Parker's mama and she know Parker's mama not gonna stand for this. So she packed her bags. The last address Hollywood found for her was in Seattle. So I was like, I'm going. Hollywood was like, okay, let's grow. Like, I got my bags packed in the truck. Like, what's good? She was like, really? And he's like, come on, you know me. So, Hollywood and Vi gonna do operation if they don't do nothing else. I told y'all them border loans. So anyway, they I don't know if they drove or took a flight to Seattle, but they doing a stakeout in the neighborhood. They like, oh, we gotta be careful in this neighborhood because they got money. So she, and Vi's like, I gotta figure this out. This is my stakeout. So then she not sure what house is there. She see the shadow of Betty. And so she's like, that's it. That's the house. And so Hollywood's like, let's ride. And then she's like, no, let me handle this myself. She goes to the door. And that's where the episode ends. And that's another thing that made me irritated. Because we got to get to this cliffhanger. But we know where we're going to pick up next episode. What's going to happen. Betty going to come through. Shut it down. Okay, so we are ready for the next episode. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode of Queen Sugar, though. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Drop your holiday tips down below. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.